welcome to another episode of Drinking with Craig and Roger. I'm Roger.
And I'm Craig. It is my birthday and we are going to celebrate. And we're going to do something a little different than normal. We typically stick to beer and whiskey and little miscellaneous oddities here and there. But today we're going to go outside of our normal thing and cover some sparkling wines.
And we have three here.
Yes.
One is Mumm, which is a champagne. Now, champagne is a term like Scotch. It refers to wine made in the Champagne district of France. And although many people use that for all sorts of other things, technically, the only champagne in the world comes from Champagne, France.
Using the traditional method.
And all three of these use the traditional method,
They do.
which is they are bottle conditioned. You can do this with beer. There are a few commercially available bottle finished beers. The thing is, what you have is a little bit of residual sugar in the beer or the wine when you put it in the bottle. Then it finishes and the natural fermentation puts the carbonation in the bottle. With beer, you usually let it fall to the bottom and then you pour carefully to avoid getting the lees in it. But, you know, there's hazy stuff around, so if you kind of want the lees, you know, in your beer, that's okay too. With champagne, what they do is after it's finished, they turn the bottles upside down, and then for months, someone goes by and shakes each bottle so the leaves fall to the bottom. Eventually, traditionally, like 200 years ago, when it got to winter time, that froze the wine, and then they take the leaves out without releasing any carbonation.
Oh, right, yeah.
Then they would bottle it, or put the cap on it, and go with it. So all three of these are using that technique.
Yeah.
They may have figured out some way to shake it mechanically, but they're still in the bottle and upside down like that. The second one is Cristalina, which is a cava, which comes from Spain.
Another terroir. So both of these have a specific area that they come from, and the name, you can only give it that name coming from that particular area. So it kind of establishes a certain level of legitimacy to the product just by carrying the name.
Hopefully the surrounding area is unique enough to give it a slightly different taste.
Right.
And the third one is the Gruet, which is from New Mexico, made or founded by a French winemaker who came to this country and started a winery. And all three of them use the same technique. There are cheaper ones around that maybe ferment in a big batch, and then when it's done fermenting, they put it in bottles like they do with most beers and then add the carbonation to it. But it has to say method traditional or fermented in this bottle. This bottle, not a bottle, but this bottle, because that's what they call the one in the big bottle. In a bottle. Anyway, and the price range, well, the Mumm usually you can find it for somewhere between $35 and $50, depending on where you go. The Cristalino, usually somewhere between $7 and $10. And the Gruet, somewhere between $14 and $18.
Something like that, right around 15. So that's what's interesting about these, and we're going to blind taste the three of these because I really want to know. I mean, you know, it's not like these definitively represent each of the three areas, but I really am curious how much the terroir, which these two, this is known for being good and less expensive. This is known for being some of the best in the world. This has no prestige in its terroir, but is made using the same method as the others. And these are obviously considerably cheaper typically than the champagne. So I'm really interested to see blindly what we think of them, because you would think it would pretty much go number one, number two, number three of what we like. But as you know, it doesn't always come out that way. So we're gonna have our assistants set up the tasting for us while we go to another room and do something else for a minute. And then we'll come back and see what we think.
Sounds good.
All right.
And we're back.
Yes.
And so now we have the 3 wines,
1, 2, 3.
and they appear to have about the same color.
If you look from left to right, classes 1 and 2 have pretty much the same bubble composition and carbonation going. Class number 3 has larger bubbles and fewer bubbles, which is a little interesting. So now let's get to the nose.
Yes, nose.
Very dry, yeasty,
Yeah, dry and yeasty.
white grape,
Well, that
a little
of course,
bit,
yeah,
but not sweet and fruity. It's fine. Definitely a more fruit heavy nose,
heavy,
I
but
think.
still dry.
Maybe the driest of them all on the
Yeah.
nose.
Very fruity though.
All similar though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Nothing sticking out too much in the noses. To me. The one in the middle is maybe the most distinct. The first and the third, more similar in their noses. Okay, well, that's all I'm going to give me so far.
I think 3 is a little more fruity in the second part of the nose.
I'm not picking up so much fruit in 3. More like little, almost dustier, earthier nose, you know? So we'll see.
Okay.
The middle, maybe the most fruit in the nose for me. That's number 1. It's good.
Nice.
Very, well,
The acidic part of it only comes really in the aftertaste.
I don't know if I'm such a big fan of this one. Has a slightly metallic finish to me. Are you tasting anything kind of metallic? Don't swirl.
Not much. Not much.
Okay, it's super dry for sure. Not very fruity.
They all should be pretty dry since they're all classified as brut.
Yeah. I'm not getting a lot of fruitiness per se.
There's a little bit, but it's
For me.
Yeah, in the middle of it.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to 2. Cheers. I like the smell of this one.
Buttery.
Yeah, I like this one more. There's a lot more going on in this one to me. Buttery, you say? I can see that.
Yeah, a little buttery.
Mhm.
The number
And I'm
1.
getting some like kind of green apple type of notes on it, maybe. That's nice.
It's a little more complex.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot. There's more. There's just more going on there, and it's a kind of a smoother, rounder flavor to me. It tastes a little bit more, I'd say, refined. Watch this be the crystal, you know.
I don't know.
But I'm enjoying number 2 a lot.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, number 3. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep, that's a good one.
I don't taste anything
very
metallic.
refreshing.
No metallic.
No.
And
Nothing metallic, real refreshing, light. Has a real nice, balanced, light flavor. Maybe the best carbonation feel, and good amount of that kind of fruitiness, fruit flavor, and not sweet, of course.
nice clean finish.
Clean, yeah, very clean finish. It kind of just, kind of drops off.
Let's go back to this one that we thought was metallic.
Yeah, let's start back with the first one now. Definitely don't like this one as much as the others.
Yeah, the fruitiness is not
Tart.
not quite as round and as
No.
and as present either. You know, it's a little more subdued in its overall character.
I agree, and it's, to me, it's almost tart. A little more
Well,
tart.
they're
tasting.
all a little bit, but yeah, I think you're right there.
Kind of earthy.
This one, you know, I'm not going to say it's a bad wine. I like it. You know,
It's not bad.
but compared to the
Comparatively,
others, it's maybe a little less distinctive, a little more subdued.
To my taste, anyway. But, yeah, it's not bad. It will get the job done. All right. That's nice.
The fruit character in the center is much more pronounced, stronger,
Oh yeah.
more bold than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice, nice
Yeah.
clean finish. I think apple is what the dominant taste I feel taste out of there.
Yeah, I agree. This has the best nose, I think. I'm getting the most out of this third
This
glass
one,
on the nose.
yeah, this one, yeah, it's, 2 and 3 have the most fruity, middle of the taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they both are very similar. 2 and 3.
They are pretty similar, yes.
I think you like the carbonation on your mouth better with number 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, it's really, this one is maybe the lightest and easiest drinking of all the 3.
Yeah. So as far as I can say, I definitely think number 1 would be my least favorite.
Yes,
and
we both. This is our number 3 for sure. Number 1 is our least favorite.
Number
Going
2
between
and number
these two.
3, it's really hard to make a decision.
It is. I kind of am leaning 2. I think 2 might be my favorite, but they're pretty close. These are pretty close. It just kind of comes down to what you prefer. I'm going to try to hone in on some nuances here, but these are very close. I'd be happy with either of these.
I would be happy with any of the 3, to be honest with you. But I think 2 and 3, I think are the better taste. They're
It's a better experience. I definitely like 3 the best for the nose and the palate, and I think maybe 2 has a little bit better finish. But overall, I think I'm enjoying 3 the most. It's a little brighter, fresher tasting. 2 was a little almost juicier, kind of, a little fruitier.
yeah, this is a little more acidic, I think, is what I would say.
3 is a little more
it's
acidic.
a little more acidic.
So if you prefer, if you happen to prefer that, yeah, 2 is a little fruitier, and 3 is a little more acidic. It's just really well balanced, and it's a nice experience throughout.
So,
And the finish, the finish is kind of, like you said, clean, which is good for a sparkling wine when you want to just have something nice and light to sip on.
yeah. And sip plenty of it too.
Yes. So I think I'm going to go in reverse order. I think 1 is my least favorite. 2, I much prefer to that. And then 3 just edges out 2. I think 3 is my favorite.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to say 1 is my least favorite. And I really can't make a decision between 2 and 3. I think they're very
close,
comparable. So
which is pretty interesting.
yes.
I'm going to guess that this is the Cristalino. 1 is the Cristalino, I think.
Okay.
I am going to guess that 2 is the Gruet. And I'm going to guess that 3 is the Champagne, which is
Mums.
Okay.
Would taste maybe the most refined. The most high dollar. It's
I
a
really-
high dollar
I really don't know,
champagne.
but I'm going to
Even though,
What are you gonna do?
even though
I'm
30
gonna-
bucks is still really cheap for a champagne.
But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you that I think 1 is the Mum. Because
Really?
I think it is much more contained.
You think it's the Mum?
Yeah. It's what happens when something gets older, it gets more subdued.
I guess I could see that. I certainly don't enjoy it more than the other two.
The other two are more brash. But that's
Yeah.
okay, not much. But I mean,
So you're guessing that 1
You
is
could be
Mum.
right.
Are you ready for the reveal?
yes.
Okay.
It's the review.
Number 1.
Oh, the Gruet is number 1. Wow. All right. Gruet, number 1. I didn't see that coming.
Numéro 2.
Ah, okay.
Mum.
The Mum is number 2. Wow. There's no way.
Número 3. Cristalino.
Wow. Wow.
Were you both wrong on every single one?
Nope.
I was wrong on every single one.
Oh.
I didn't
Okay.
choose between these two. I just said that maybe this was.
Now I don't like 3 nearly as much.
Yeah, it doesn't cost as much, No, I think it's interesting.
tasty.
The Cristalino has always been a really good favorite. Look at this.
You've been buying it for a
Yeah.
long time.
It says 92.
Mhm.
That's an excellent, score for a wine.
Yeah. So of course the lesson here is that, well, if this is our least favorite, this is the only one that's not from a denomination du origin.
But but
Just saying,
it's
for what
a
it's worth.
very, very nice wine.
It is fine.
So what we're doing here is we're comparing these
least
three.
favorite choice.
At
Least
least
fa-
for what we're looking
For.
for in a sparkling wine. Now, we may not have the refined palates of true wine connoisseurs, but we've had our fair share,
Yeah.
and we're enthusiastic. But it's still, like you said, it's still good. I'd be happy with it, but comparatively, once I had the others, I definitely preferred the Mums and the Cristalino. So that is a strong showing for Cristalino. And I
Yes,
must
I think
admit
so.
I'm surprised, because that's the whole thing with Cava, is that you get high quality for a cheaper price overall. Cristalino is one of the cheapest of the Cavas. So that's pretty impressive.
But on the other hand, I don't know how I hope they're not using child labor to produce it for that less
You wouldn't
amount.
know.
But they're doing it the same
If
way.
they are, thank you, children. You're doing an excellent job. These are all-star kids.
Yes, they are.
I think there are a lot of people that would like the Gruet just for its more unusual kind of earthy, more mineral type character.
More.
But to me, it definitely, I don't know. This being the only one that's not from an area known to produce good wines, it kind of showed. That's just to me. I mean, blindly,
Well,
didn't have a lot of the good character
It's
guys.
just more subdued and less acidic, right on the mouth than the other two.
It's pretty darn good.
It's
Coming
good.
back to it now, it's pretty darn good.
It's good. It's been 20 some years, but when Ellen finished her Doctor of Musical Arts degree, she wanted to have a bottle of Dom Perignon, which I bought,
Mm-hmm.
and we enjoyed it. It was nice.
I'm
It
sure
was
it's very
very,
good.
very nice.
Yeah.
And then I got acquainted with Cristalino, and it was almost as nice. Dom Perignon was really nice, but I didn't think it was 20 times nicer. So I think what we can say is we've done our best with sparkling wines. I hope this gives you folks at least some idea about what you can expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you, if you like us and subscribe to our channel. If you have
Please.
questions, ask us. But I can say I recommend all three of these. They are really nice wines. And the thing that I think impresses us is that the cheapest one is pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good. It's right up there with the others. And happy birthday to me. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Happy birthday to you!